So 11.3, surface area of pyramids and cones. So there's going to be two pyramids that you see today on your IXL. The first one is going to be a square pyramid. Okay, so your bottom is a square. Okay, and it has a point at the top. For your square pyramid, you have a square. Okay, the area of a square is, you can do base times height or side times side. Remember, those two numbers are going to be the same. If we have a square pyramid, how many of those triangles do we have? We have 4 of them, right? And they're all the same, correct? Okay, so the area formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And if you have a square pyramid, you would times that by 4, because it has 4 sides. The other pyramid that you're going to see today is a triangular pyramid, okay? So the bottom is going to be one equilateral triangle, okay? Are the triangles coming up the same size as the one on the bottom? No, right? That one is not the same size as that one, correct? Okay, so in the one you have today, you're going to have a base triangle, okay? That's going to be equilateral. And then the triangles on the sides are not going to be the same. So you have your triangle on the bottom. That's going to be 1/2 base times height. And then you'll have the triangles on the sides with a base and a height as well. That's 1/2 base times height. And then you would times that one by 3, because you're going to have 3 triangles coming up. Okay, so you're going to have 2 today. You're going to have either a square or you're going to have a triangular pyramid. Okay. Any questions on pyramids? The formula is the same, so your formula is the same, but your base and height are going to be probably different. I see what you mean. So like for this one, it might be 3 by, I don't even know what this would be, but it'd be like 2.5-ish. But then this one would be 3 by maybe 10. Okay, so these 3 that are up here are going to have a different base and height than the one on the bottom. Is that what you're asking? Okay. All right. You'll also have cones today. On your formula sheet, the cones formula is on there. Okay? So you don't need to memorize this. This will be given to you. I will point it out where it is on that formula sheet. And the formula is pi r, this is an L. Okay? Not a 1. It's an L plus pi r squared. The L stands for slant height. So the L stands for slant height. And what your slant height is that if you were standing at the top and you slid down a side, that's your slant height. It's the height of the side of the pyramid. Okay, so it's different from the height of the whole pyramid because the height from the whole pyramid is in the middle. Okay, so this is the height of the whole pyramid where my pen is. This line drawn on the side is your slant height. It's the height going down the side. Do you guys see the difference between slant height and regular height? Okay. So I always think of it as your slide height, that if you were sliding down the side of the pyramid, that's where it would be. Yeah, Haley. Yes. Yep. So you use slant height on these as well. They give you pictures the whole time. And so you'll see they'll either give you it on the side or they'll have a dashed line in the middle and you'll have to find your slant height, which we'll talk about how to find that here in a second. Okay? Any other questions? All right. So So let's do some examples. It says find the surface area of a regular square pyramid with base edge length 14 and slant height of 25. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay? Your IXL ones today give you a picture every time. Okay? This is an example of if they don't give you a picture. So this is harder than what you would see on your IXL. Okay? If they tell us our base edge length is 14, that means the side length of the square on the bottom is 14. Your slant height is 25. So if this is my pyramid, my slant height would go down this, and that's 25. So that's going to be the height of your triangles when we're finding the area of those. Okay, so we're going to start with the bottom. The bottom is a square. That's 14 by 14. 14 times 14 is 196. Okay. Then you have these triangles where your slant height is 25, so that's the height of your triangle, and your base is 14. How many of these triangles are there in a square pyramid? There's 4 in a square pyramid. There's 3 in a triangular pyramid where this bottom's a triangle. So you would do 1/2 base times height, which is your slant height, and then multiply that by 4. You solve that, you're going to get 700. Your last step is to add those up. So 896 centimeters squared would be your surface area of this figure. No. Exactly. Today I think maybe once you get to 60 they might start giving you the regular height, but it takes a while to get to that point. Do we need to do the purple one? No? Okay, so let's try the cone. So remember, for a cone, you will be given the surface area formula. The surface area formula is pi RL plus pi r squared. I typically write it as a cursive L because then I'm not messed up if it's a 1 or the letter L. Okay? Today for pi, they have you plug in 3.14. Your slant height is 5, your diameter is 5.6. So I'll draw a picture of that quick. So here's your cone. It says my diameter is 5.6. My slant height is 5. If my diameter is 5.6, what do I have to do to that to find my radius? Divide by 2. 5.6 divided by 2 is 2.8. So your radius then, this length is 2.8. And now we're going to plug in our numbers. Pi changes to 3.14. So I have 3.14 times 2.8 times 5. Remember that L is your slant height. Plus 3.14 times 2.8 squared. A lot of people have been like finding this and finding that, then adding them, which you're going to have to do if you use your phones. But if you're using my calculator, you could just plug in the whole thing at one time and not have to worry about doing them separately. Okay? So if you do it at one time, missed the times there. Go. you get 68.5776. That's your answer. Okay, again, this formula will be given to you. You don't have to memorize that one. So the next question is, what if your slant height is missing? So in this picture, they gave us our side length. They gave us our regular height, but they did not give us our slant height. Okay? I know yours is hard to see, but based on the one I have up here, what can you use to find your slant height? Grace? Pythagorean theorem. Okay? Now, something you need to know. If this is 24, what do you think from here to here is? 12. A lot of people think this is 24. No, this is 24, so if it's halfway, it's 12. So this part here is going to be 12. So you would do 16 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. Okay? We have been doing Pythagorean theorem since chapter 7. We are now on chapter 11. If you don't know how to do it by now, you need to come in and get help. Okay? When you solve that, you get c is 20. Again, if you don't know how to do it, you need to come in. We have 4 chapters in a row that we've done Pythagorean theorem in. Okay? And we still have one more to go. The next one has Pythagorean theorem in it too. Okay? So c is 20, so your slant height is 20. And then now you would do what we did in our first example, and you'd find the area of this. So you would start with your bottom. Your bottom is a square where each side is 24. I think they tell you it's a square pyramid. But yeah, if it doesn't, just assume it is. So it's 24 times 24, which is 576. Then you have to do your 4 triangular sides. Each one has a base of 24, and we found that the height of it is 20. So we would do 1/2 base times height, and then times 4, because again there's 4 of these. So that gets you 960. And then you would add 576 and 960 to get your final answer. Okay? Now, I was helping a student this morning. He had spent an hour and a half, and he had done 17 problems, and he had gotten 2 right. If you have been working for an hour and a half, that is too long to go without asking for help. Okay? If you get to a half hour and you only have 2 right, you need to ask for help. Okay? Email me, come in, let me know that something's not going right. But you should not be working on this for an hour and a half and continuously getting them wrong and continuously trying. Okay? Don't do that to yourself. All right? So,